All right, welcome back to Good Morning Football. Packers, Lions, hosting in Lambeau, and there he is, the boogeyman himself. Fourth quarter, Packers trailing 22-13. Aaron Rodgers dropping back, and who does he find? Allen Lazard, and that is a touchdown. I see you, number 13. And there, Aaron Rodgers bugging the sideline. Down two, they need a field goal. Mason Crosby, and it is good. How about that? The game-winning field goal, 23 yards, and it is in. And there is Mason Crosby doing a little Lambeau leap. The Packers, they win this one 23-22. And let's hear from Mason Crosby about that game-winning field goal.
Finally got my Lambeau leap. I've always wanted it. Yeah, baby. That was big time. Man, what a great game. That was awesome.
Yeah, Lions fans are thinking, wait a second, that's not the highlights. What about the penalties? All right, we'll move right along.
From the kicker,
Full leap from the kicker. They conveniently, that highlight. Never mind, we're going to go on here. Week 6. It ended last night with the Lions and Packers, as we saw. Nothing to see here. It's time for me to break out my power rankings for Week 7. The top 5 teams in the NFL right now. We're calling it Fight My 5. We want you at home to come back at us.
Bring it.
What we got wrong, and you guys at the table are going to do the same. Number 5, I'm going up to the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are my number 5 team. They had a big win in Cleveland. I love the fact that they were down 2 scores and found a way to win. This Seahawks team seems a little different than those Legion of Boom teams. It seems like they are all in on this together, and they're led by the quarterback, not by the defense. And yet, it was the wide receiver group that had us smiling.
Jerome Brown.
Let's get a look at how they celebrated the big touchdown.
Peter, what are we doing here? Is this JC and Kirkpatrick and Fatone?
I'm waiting.
Here it is.
There it is.
NSYNC always comes on stage late. They make the fans wait.
Look, you have an opening act, there's a little pause, and then you do your dance.
You gotta let O-Town do their sets.
Exactly right.
And you know, NSYNC actually tweeted and said they were a 10 out of 10. Is that right? NSYNC actually tweeted them. Yeah. No strings
Dave
attached.
Burleson from Extra Extra dropping that knowledge.
Sometimes BB Mac needs to play. All right, number 4.
Because we're back here, baby.
BB Mac. Number 4. Going with the team from last night. Cry about the refs all you want. The Green Bay Packers are 5-1, and they have won 3 games in their division. And I know I was joking about it to start the segment, but it is pretty cool when the kicker does a Lambeau leap. Let's see Mason Crosby doing it. This is it. He's never done it, apparently, in all his years as a Packer. The kicker getting out there. I saw Adam Schefter try it before the game. This is a little more graceful than what that was.
Crawls up there. You gotta just go for it. Do boldly when you do it all, Kyle. I'm not into this.
Yeah, I don't like when they get help. Hey, you're a kicker. You have the most powerful legs in the stadium. Jump.
What do you think of the lights off stuff that the Packers do? Yeah. Every time they score, lights off, I'm like, there's a power outage. It's just what they're doing.
I love these 2 teams playing each other. I hope
and there's a long history between these 2 teams the last 10 years. If you want to go fail Mary straight through the NFC Championship game and the onside kick. These are 4 and 5. So 2 NFC teams. Number 3, are we going with the AFC? We're sticking with the NFC.
Oh.
And they might be undefeated, but I don't have them in the top 2 yet. The San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are special. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy Garoppolo in this preseason gave us a lot of reason to be concerned with some interceptions and some bad performances against the Broncos on opening drives. And yet George Kittle, now that they're sitting at 5-0, had a little something to say after Sunday's game.
I mean, there's nothing more I love than watching our D-line play. I was sitting there in the third quarter and I was like, I think this is, the day that Jimmy threw 5 interceptions might have had something to do with our D-line was in his face for 5 straight plays. They're pretty dang good.
Maybe that was it. Maybe he was going up against the best defense in the league in practice, and that's why he threw 5 interceptions. I like the take from Kittle. I love the performance from Kittle. Guys, George Kittle was injured on Friday in practice. There was questionable whether he was going to go. Had a huge game, and yet it wasn't even the biggest story. The biggest story was how they shut down that high-flying Rams offense, completely iced them out. The 49ers, they are a special team, and yet they're not in the top 2 because the number 2 team, I'm going down to the Big Easy. The New Orleans Saints are winning without their quarterback, Drew Brees, and they are doing it in a fashion that I think will only benefit them come December and January. The defense is fantastic. The wide receiver, Michael Thomas's numbers have not dipped without Brees. And oh yeah, guess what? There was some footage last week that might give you some reason for optimism. Let's see. Oh, there he is.
Oh, clean.
You want want to talk about Halloween? This guy might be coming, and he's there to scare the rest of the NFC.
Hey, nice.
He looks pretty good, and I think we might see him maybe week 8, maybe week 9, maybe week 10. The truth of the matter is they're the number 2 team in the league, not because of that guy. They're the number 2 team in the league because of the entire roster and the way their quarterback right now is playing, Teddy Bridgewater. This team has been so impressive because I think everyone expected after that Rams loss and for Brees to go down for a giant dip. Well, maybe statistically there has been, but the performance and the win total there hasn't. Saints, number 2 team, which means still reigning number 1 team.
And still,
let's go to Foxborough, where the Patriots are the number 1 team. Look, I know that there's been injuries. I know that other guys have stepped up, but I do have my concerns about who Tom Brady's throwing the ball to. There are guys I've never heard of making plays right now, and there's still an expectation that they might bring someone back. I don't know. And yet, maybe the most impressive target out there on the marketplace for Tom Brady was in a suit talking about squirrels on Thursday night. Take it away, Gronk.
But let me tell you something about Julian. First off, he calls himself the squirrel. You want to know why he calls himself the squirrel? Because he is a squirrel. He's furry. He's furry. He's cute. He's elusive. He's feisty. And most importantly, whenever he gets a chance, he gets that nut. Just like he gets a first down. Just like he gets the touchdown. Just like he'll give you a catch when you need it.
That's amazing.
Peter, you were standing right there. You must have felt a little like Mean Gene Okerlund. You know, like it was the
Paul Heyman
talking right.
Yeah.
That was you. What was it like to be there?
He was intense, and that's the thing. He still looks good, and I said it on the show Friday. I don't know if we've seen the last of him. I mean, he still looks like he's in great shape. He's in good form.
I got a question.
Yes.
What's up, AFC? Like, where are the Chiefs? What's going on? What's going on in the AFC?
4-2 Chiefs, 4-1 Bills, 4-2 Texans. I don't think any of those teams are better than any of these 4 teams. It's like the NFC and these guys, and I'm not so certain about these guys. I want to see what these guys do against the Chiefs, against some of these other teams. In fact, I want to see what these guys do against the Sam Darnold-led Jets.
Hey now. I like me a good PPR, Peter's Power Rankings, but I feel like the San Francisco fans, they're going to come at you, bro. They are undefeated.
Faithful, I get it. I get it completely. This team's been there. This team's done that. This team right now is the team to beat in the NFC.
I like it, Peter. I'm not fighting,
Peter.
I think you got it right.
Great job on the NFL. How about the NFC?
Good job, man.
Who's the team to beat in the NFC East? We'll discuss it.
Good question.
Good Morning Football. I mean, Saquon's coming back.
Yeah.
Game changer. Does he shift the dynamic? Do the G-men suddenly become contenders? And if you have a youngster who wants to play tight end, what do you do, Kyle?
You got to pull him aside and say, son, stay on the ground.
Mark Andrews.
This one changed the game.
Oh, that was...
Jumping tacklers has now jumped the shark, I think.
That's not cute.